type of, I mean, we have looks when we are younger, all of us, and we want to always kind of like look at a certain idea. A body image is so important to so many women. And I'm just recommending here is really not just having be okay with who you are, but really forming the right habits, and the holistic lifestyle is what is important.
All right. Well, thank you, Amita. Thank you for joining today, the Darren Well podcast. I'm so glad for you to join and share more about holistic wellness and also just how women from any stage of life can learn how to live well in their mind, body, and spirit. So, start us off with your brief bio. So, how did you get started with this project of kind of the NourishDoc, and just kind of a brief bio about your background and expertise?
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm like anyone else. I'm not an expert, like a medical or a holistic expert, but I had all kind of issues while even growing up, as a teenager, then my 20s and 30s, a lot of fatigue, when I was younger, a lot of fatigue. I could not even wake up. And then when I got into, and I think that carried on in my 40s, when I started having perimenopause, and I could not even function. It was so bad. I mean, 30s was bad, 20s was okay, and then 40s was like really really bad. And that's when I was not able to work properly, not able to focus on my work. My periods were so irregular, and the flow was like unridiculously sometimes heavy, like literally a tap has been opened. I mean, it was really really bad. And that's when this whole perimenopause started. And after a decade, when I reflected on that, because all these my 20s, 30s, 40s, the problems I had, I just suffered in silence. I never sought help, much help, just here and there, experimented by myself, did not have the knowledge to do it at a younger age. So then a few years back, this whole reflection dawned on me, and I said, this is what I really want to focus on: women's wellness, and emphasize the fact to start early on, like in your 20s, when you can, and not suffer when you get older. Like me, I suffered so much through the perimenopause 40s. If had I known, I would have started earlier to take care of myself. In my 20s and 30s, I was so overweight. So that's a little bit of my journey on where I am with the platform, NourishDoc. It's really attempting to empower women of all ages. We are starting with a 20 something when they start their periods, and go all the way to 65-year-old woman. So the idea is to support a woman's journey from PMS, PCOS, perimenopause, postnatal depression, menopause, and postmenopause. Strangely, they're all P's. Right?
You know what? I didn't realize that. That is very interesting.
It's all P's. That's pregnancy too is P, believe it, right? Except for M is the menopause, but everything's PPP.
Yeah, yeah, that is wild. I've not noticed that.
So that's a little bit of my sort of like what I have gone through, and what I'm trying to do.
Awesome. That's sweet. I love that you're condensing all this information, because I think that's the other thing that feels overwhelming is like there's
Yeah.
so much information out there, but also like how do I make it apply to like my stage of life? And so thinking about even the younger ladies that are walking through understanding their body through PCOS and wanting to um, think about fertility, their fertility journey. So definitely perimenopause, we're past that fertility journey, but I love that you're thinking about even the younger ladies in this conversation today. And so, as we think about some of the ideas of living well, what are some ideas that you have that you wanted to share about like self care and holistic lifestyle for any lady in any stage of life?
So yeah, so for women, it doesn't matter which stage you are, which age you are, right? We women have been blessed with a very complicated body, whether we like it or not. And because of the menstrual cycle, right? We have this menstrual cycle. Even if after the menstrual cycle stops, we still have to worry about all those things, so many other things. So it's very important for women to really nourish themselves properly. at younger age we always want to look like certain, I don't know, certain kind of a model or certain type of, I mean, we have looks when we are younger, all of us, and we want to always kind of like look at a certain idea. A body image is so important to so many women. And I'm just recommending here is really not just having be okay with who you are, but really forming the right habits, and the holistic lifestyle is what is important. Nourishing yourself properly with the right nutrition diet is so important. Not starving yourself just to fit into a size 2 or size 3 or whatever you want to do is a bad strategy, because guess what, I was trying to do that in my 20s, I'm telling you ladies, and in 40s I was so miserable, because everything, all the dieting and all the yo-yo diets that I personally did in my 20s, and by the time I was older, oh my God, it was crazy. I could not even function. That's the reason I'm saying. So the younger we have to, of course, eat properly. Make sure you incorporate a holistic lifestyle. So what that means is mind, body, and soul. So means is nourishing yourself with proper diet, exercising, meaning movement, different type of movements, like, and relaxing yourself with some kind of a meditation, some kind of a breath work, some kind of a yoga, qigong, hypnotherapy, aromatherapy, using essential oils, even simple therapy. That's good to declutter your mind so that you're clear. All
Yeah.
those things, right, are important to start building your habits when you are in your 20s, incorporating some of the Ayurvedic principles, which I will go in detail now in a few minutes, or incorporating some of the other functional medicine principles, following circadian rhythm, living with the nature. That needs to start in
Yeah.
your 20s.
Wow.
And what we do when we are 20 something, we are staying awake till 3 a.m. and then we wake up and we're drinking and partying, which, I'm not saying don't do that, but we are actually neglecting our body and beating our body with all these alcohol and late night parties, and not following the circadian rhythm when we are young, in our 20s, in our college, in all that setting.
And
That's
it
what we
catches
end
up
up
to
doing.
you.
Right? And that's what we end up doing. And guess what happens when you reach, everybody's going to go to the next level, whether we like it or not. And then that's when the body that has taken so much beating when we were in our 20s, it starts dying on you slowly, slowly, until you really take care of it.
Yeah. 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 Can you speak more about the how do you pronounce that? Ayurvedic?
Yeah, Ayurveda. So, it's very simple. Ayurveda is science of life. Literally, it means science of life. That
Mm,
originated about 5,000 years back from India. Like yoga has originated from India. The Ayurveda and yoga are sister science. Now, yoga has become extremely popular, even with 20 something, right? Young women, we see them all the time doing yoga. So, Ayurveda is nothing but living in harmony with nature. That is what Ayurveda is all about. So when I was talking about staying awake till 3 a.m., that's not what Ayurveda says. Ayurveda says when the sun is up, you are up, and the sun is down, you are kind of winding down and you go to sleep, right? Very simple principle. Live according to the nature. Cleanse your systems when the seasons are changing. It talks about that. Internal cleansing. And what that does is it cleanses not only your body but also your mind. You need to declutter your mind also at the same time with negative thoughts. You need to put the right thoughts in your mind. So that's what Ayurveda is talking about. Ayurveda is talking about when you're having proper meals at the proper times, nourishing your body, right? So having different tastes in every meal. And we are saying the same thing in Western medicine, having your carb, protein, and fat. Ayurveda is talking about having different tastes like salt, pungent, sweet, and astringent, having these different tastes. So that basically you incorporate different type of foods in your diet, so that bitter enzymes are very good for gut health. We know that, right?
yeah.
Things like that, and then using herbs and spices as well different kitchen herbs, kitchen spices to really nourish yourself.
What are
And
some ideas for kitchen herbs that you can think of will be helpful?
It's so simple and so easy to do. Like ginger root, turmeric root on a daily basis, cut it, put it in the water, put some lemon juice, put some cumin seeds, put some coriander seeds, and there it is, a little nourishing tea that you have, right? So basically, cumin, coriander, fennel. That's what it's called, CCF tea. It's a very classic Ayurvedic tea. In the morning, you have it and put a teeny bit of honey, dab of just a little honey, little bit of a lemon juice, and I'll put fresh ginger root and fresh turmeric root. Very simple to have. Then the other thing is, Ayurveda also talks about making sure your gut health is in good shape. Every disease is originating from your gut health. If it's talking about not what you eat, what you digest, right? If you are not digesting your food properly, it's not going to assimilate right inside your stomach. That's what it talks about. So having a robust gut health is critical, meaning having regular bowel movements. Sometimes people say, oh no, I go bowel movement every 2 days. It's not okay. You need to go every single day. And the quality of your poop is also important, right? So
That is something funny. I'm always asking when my kids are grown now, but I would always ask my kids like, "Did you poop today? What did
yeah,
poop look like?" And so
exactly.
thinking about as you get older, like that's a really important conversation because it just talks about your gut health. And so and also what you put in, like the consistency of what your poop looks like is also based on what you ate that day or that week as your body is digesting that. And so thinking about making sure you're having the good foods in as well so that it comes out right. But yeah, I like that. That's the idea because I remember before I started focusing on holistic wellness, I was pooping
Mhm.
like once a week. Like that's
Wow.
so not good.
Really? Oh my God, that's bad. Because all these contamination that's happening inside your body, it's sticking inside. It's not coming out.
Yeah, and now it's like 2 and 3 times a day. And so and that's
That's
the thing, like, when you know that
yeah,
you're eating well, like,
yeah.
it just your body flows, your skin starts to look glowy
Uh,
because you're
yes,
eating right. And so it always, like, benefits your hair. You have a good head of hair, Miss Amita.
yes. Oh,
But,
thank you.
like but that's something to think about, like, it just benefits your whole body, mind, and
Yes.
spirit. And so, yeah, I love that, thinking about the gut health. Any other new, like either vitamins or minerals or kitchen herbs? I think I've heard of cloves, black
Huh?
pepper. Like, there's so many other things that we just don't think about. Oh, I just want to make it for just for this dish. But no, if you can find other ways to incorporate into your everyday lifestyle, like it's the small things that makes it go the long mile. So, what are some other ideas that you have for gut health?
Yeah, so one of a very popular herb is called triphala, Triphala. It's a mix of three different herbs. Triphala
Okay.
powder is very ready. It's readily available everywhere, on Amazon, everywhere. Pretty much Amazon, actually, you can buy it. So it come in a powder form, or it also comes in a liquid form. But I typically buy in a powder form, and what it's excellent for your gut health, digestion, and that's a
Spell that
class
again.
Triphala, Triphala. It's got amla. Amla is an Indian gooseberry. And that's another one. Amla is also excellent for your hair. I use that every single day, and for your hair health and for also your digestion is Indian gooseberry amla health. Amla. Then this is excellent. Moringa powder is also excellent for pre-diabetic or blood sugar. Cinnamon is excellent for that as well. Brahmi is another one for hair. It's very good. I and also using some hair medicated hair oils like amla oil for your hair. Again, I use that all the time, every week. Massaging your hair with hair oils like Brahmi oils, amla oil. Some of these concoctions that Ayurvedic oils have are excellent for your gut health, for your hair. Yeah, and as you rightly said, if your gut health is good, your skin is automatically going to glow, like yours is glowing, right? So, so if your internal system is clean, that's what we are saying. Your outer system, you don't need to wear too much makeup to make yourself look beautiful because it's automatically starts your skin is going to start glowing. So it's very, very important to use these, you can use some of the herbs, but consult with your holistic practitioner. You don't want to do everything yourself. But I'm just sharing what I do. I do triphala in the morning, amla in the morning, brahmi. I put that a little bit. I put ginger root, turmeric root, cumin seeds, fennel seeds, coriander seeds, cinnamon. Then some of the nutmeg, cloves. Cloves is really good for your teeth. I also squish with coconut oil. It's very good for your gums and your teeth. Coconut
Really?
oil. Yes, it has evidence as well. Just take a
That's
little
a
bit
new one
of.
I haven't heard.
Just
And you
check.
mouthwash it, like, swish it in your mouth?
It doesn't have that taste, right? I mean, coconut oil you can buy it odorless. That's what I do, and I just put teeny bit in my and I squish it and I spit it out. It helps with your gums receding as we all age, and also with your plaque that builds up on your teeth. It has research evidence behind it as well. Squishing coconut oil, just type it in, and you'll see coconut oil. You know, kind of not gargling, it's squishing, right?
Swishing around.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah, yeah. So these are some of the things that it doesn't matter what age you are. You're 20 something. You can easily do that, right? Using some herbs, using some spices, using some basic holistic habits in the mornings, right? Doing some sun salutations. Surya Namaskar is what everybody knows how to do sun salutations in today's day and age, right? Some yoga asanas, yoga postures in the morning, doing some breath work to calm yourself, little bit of a meditation. Even if you do 2 3 minutes, 5 minutes of meditation just to calm yourself, get your mind sort of normalizing your mind in the morning so that you can have a good day, and have good thoughts in your mind. It's very important, like I said earlier. These are some of the things, right? And
Yeah.
then eating right. We talked about the six taste. So Ayurveda also talks about eating according to your constitution and not mixing some of the foods that are not compatible with each other. For example, don't have yogurt with while you're eating fish. They're not compatible. Things like that, right? Um, Eating compatible foods and also using some supplements that would work with you to what they call is rejuvenating yourself, right? So I personally take supplements in the morning, and supplements you should consult with someone whatever is the deficiency in your body, right? Rather than gulping all the supplements that are out there.
Yeah, yeah.
you know so these are some of the things Ayurveda is talking about. And also, while you're young, you should use some of the medicated oils, to massage yourself, to massage your body. I do that every single day. I wish I had known when I was in my 20. I had no clue. But you can take some medicated oil that are medicated with herbs, herbs infused oils, which are again readily available, and massaging yourself, maybe daily or weekly, massaging your body, massaging your head. These kind of things can happen at your young age.
Yeah, so benefits of that, it just sounds like just relaxation and just,
Mhm.
um what are some other benefits when you think about just the massage oils?
The massage oil, skin is our largest organ, and then it absorbs all the herbs infused oils, right? It's
Mhm.
helping our immunity, helping us with our immunity, our metabolism, our lymphatic system, all those things. It's the circulation within it, right? It's like the same principle when we go to acupuncture, acupressure. You know how they stick the needles at the meridian points. You're really massaging your entire meridian points, so it helps the circulation, the energy flow better inside the body. And also, I have noticed when I massage myself and I'm doing yoga, because I'm twisting and turning, all these postures that you do, I'm telling you,
Mhm.
next day I feel that my whole system is cleansed. It's like someone put a vacuum cleaner and push, it comes out, right?
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know so that's into cleansing. That literally is cleansing. You need to cleanse yourself, because all the food that we are eating nowadays, it's so insecticides, pesticides laden with that, unless all of us go buy all the time organic foods, and which can be very expensive for most of us on a daily
Yeah,
basis, right? I mean, Whole Foods is not cheap. The produce is very expensive.
it
That is.
is very expensive.
And I personally end up buying from farmers markets, which is reasonably priced. but still you don't know what kind of pesticides. So it's very important for women, especially younger women. I'm emphasizing the fact, this thing, younger women, internal cleansing is very, very important. I'll tell you what, the women's placenta, they did the testing, they found 170 pesticides, chemicals that were, the baby's born with that. So if you are not keeping yourself cleansed when you are younger, you are giving birth to the next offspring that's going to be come out with all these toxins inside a baby.
So what was that number for the toxins in the placenta?
170, 170. There's a research that was published. A woman's
Wow.
average woman's placenta has 170 toxins. The reason is because she is eating all the junk food before she's getting pregnant. She's eating all the processed food. She's probably using all kind of makeup, which is again laden with so many things, and the
Mm.
environment toxin that is being passed on to the next generation. No wonder
Wow.
so many kids have autism, ADHD, so many issues, and I don't even want to go on the vaccine. I don't want to talk about these things,
That's a
but
whole conversation
that's a
all
whole
by itself.
conversation. Exactly, but just as a woman, you can take care of yourself so that you don't pass on these all toxins to. If you think you're getting pregnant in 30s or late 20s or whatever, you're not passing that to your kids.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that, Amita, because I think in your early so I think when we get pregnant, that's when we're like, "Oh, I'm gonna eat healthy and try to do all these
Yeah.
healthy things," but, like, the things that you need
Before
to do
that,
before to prepare your body to be a good host for that baby, and also just even if you don't wanna become a mom, there's some ladies that never wanna be a mom, and there's nothing wrong
yeah.
with that too, but
No, no,
also thinking about 170 toxins found in the placenta, that's a lot.
Mhm.
That's a
Yeah, even if
lot.
that's a lot. Even if you don't want to get pregnant, it's not necessary. Everybody has to have a baby or a child, but still, you can take care of yourself. You are putting your body at the risk of getting a chronic condition. So many women are getting cancer now, breast cancer. It's all culmination of all these toxins that build up, and they, suddenly when you're in your later years and you're older, it kind of bubbles up, right?
Yeah, and it catches up with you.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for sharing some of those just practical ways to and the reasons. I think that's the other thing. We're always told eat healthy, do these right
Yes.
things, but we're not told like what's the consequences if you don't. And so I
Mhm.
love that you broke it down that way by the science. Yeah, I'm a science geek. Like I want to know the data. And so
Yeah,
I
me
think
too. Me too.
that's good. What are some ideas that you have as we I don't want to get too deep into the sexual health, but like as we think about like sexual health, as we think about stress, as we think about anxiety, as we think about just like again a holistic perspective, what are some
Yeah.
other ideas that women can do to make sure they're preparing their body and their mind and their spirit and their soul for sexual health, stress and anxiety and just like living holistically well?
Yeah, so we women are very emotionally kind of attached. Like for us, sexual health is not only the physical part; it's the emotional part. That's how we are built, women, right? So I think to have a good sexual health, like I said, I'm not a medical doctor. I've interviewed quite a few sexologists. So most of the time, they emphasize the fact that you need to lower down your stress. It's very important,
Mm,
and because when we are stressed, this whole our mind, body, and soul impacts our entire body functions, including our sexual health at the same time. And also, sexual health changes as we grow older. Our because of the hormonal fluctuations that are happening in a woman's body, the vaginal uh, the vaginal wall, what they call, can become thin, and there could be a pain in the intercourse. So all these functions a woman's body is going through 20s, 30s, and 40s can impact the sexual health as they start getting older. They might get pain. They might not. There might be loss of libido because of the hormonal fluctuations. In fact, the hormonal fluctuations also start happening at early on. If someone might have a PMS or a PCOS, for that matter, right? That happens mostly younger women, the premenstrual syndrome and PCOS. So it's important for women to make sure that they know how to handle the stress and the anxiety, because it's all connected, right? Now, anxiety, stress is also connected with the gut health we talked about earlier. So
Yeah.
keeping your gut health healthy is also going to help you with the anxiety, with the energy, because you feel lighter when all the toxins are gone, flushed out of your body. So all that is interconnected, is what I'm saying,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? And one of the MDs, in fact, I interviewed, and she was talking about a technique called orgasmic meditation that helps with the sexual energy. It again has scientific evidence behind it. So it's important to keep all of our body functions alive, and not think that this body function now is okay. Now it's not going to operate. it's
Right.
it's healthy for you without going too much into the detail. There's a scientific evidence with the sexual health, keeping it alive to your mind, body, and soul as well. There is a sexual evidence that talks about orgasm as a pain reliever as well. So it's part of the entire. That's why God has given us all these body parts to keep them functioning. Like a car. You need to make sure everything is functioning properly. So that's what I would say, without going too much into the detail of what the ramifications could be as you start getting older, getting into the perimenopause, menopause. That is a completely different topic.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. Thank you for sharing that. Could you briefly explain what PCOS is for the young ladies that are s- before menopause and before perimenopause, like they're dealing with the PCOS or
Yeah.
symptoms that they are not sure how to explain this to their doctor. So, how could they advocate for themselves?
Yeah, so PCOS is polycystic ovarian syndrome, and then there is PCOD. So one of them is, that you have to have medication in the sense, and then the PCOD, I think is you can do like it's all based on lifestyle. Basically, you're not following a good lifestyle, and you're going to get PCOS or PCOD. So it can be controlled with a lifestyle modification and dietary modification, and some of the symptoms are irregular periods again, because
Mm,
the body is not ovulating properly. And then start putting on a lot of weight. You also sometimes have hair on your face. You start growing hair on your face. It can be, actually, body image can go down quite a bit, because you have this PCOS, and of course all these, your menstrual health cycle is not functioning properly, right? So all, and even the hair can grow on the face, and the hair loss can happen on your head, all these things, right? So basically what this research and science has found, that it stems from unhealthy lifestyle and dietary habits, and
mm,
this can be controlled, this can be reversed and managed, most of these symptoms. So in fact, we have a program on our platform on PCOS, exactly, to what to eat, what not to eat, a complete nutrition, complete, how sleep can impact it, how stress can impact it, what can you do, simple spices, simple, all those things. And it's typically happening with the younger women, like 20 something, right? Uh, Typically, I'm not saying that the older women don't have it, but typically starts with younger women who don't have a good lifestyle, and the woman's body cannot take this whole processed food and bad lifestyle, and typically women get it at that age, and sometimes it can keep going on and doesn't come out, but you can reverse it by some simple dietary lifestyle, even some ayurvedic spices, herbs and spices, and all these things that can be reversed and managed.
wow, that's good to know that that resource is available for ladies to connect
Yeah.
with and check out. So as we start to wrap up today, Amita, I'm enjoying our conversation. I love how you're just dropping some information and knowledge for us to learn how to live well in mind, body, and spirit, and even our sexual health. And I think that's the other thing as women, we we sometimes we go from one extreme to the next, and finding that balance of how to live well even within our sexual health and stuff. So that's thank you for sharing some of that. So, as we start to wrap up, any other last tidbits of wisdom that you would like to share for self care, self love, mindset, or just holistic wellness? Any other wellness tips you'd like to share before we wrap up today?
Yeah, so my thing is start early. Don't wait until you're hitting 40s and start developing these healthy habits when you are in your 20s. It's basically incorporating a holistic lifestyle and investing in your body. You are really investing in your quality of life as you get older. The one data point I want to share with the viewers is also 80% of the women have one chronic condition when they're over 55. You don't want to be one of them, right? If you start early on, you will live a healthy life. But if you don't, then there's no one else to blame but yourself. So my high recommendation is to start developing, early on these holistic lifestyle.
That's good. That's good. I love how you said invested in your quality of life. 'Cause it's an investment. It really is. It's an investment in
Yes,
being very mindful in the choices
yes.
that you make. So even though we talked about even about poop, you know what I mean? Like the unfeminine thing, but like we all
Yeah.
do it. So
Absolutely, we have to talk, and there's no like you should not be scared to seek help. Is what I want to tell younger women. So you're so fixated on some of these what media has to portray how other women look. Who are in the fashion industry. You have to be happy with your own self, your own body and mind. It's important to um, uh, accept yourself, right? We don't accept. We
mm,
always are thinking of some kind of a acceptance from others, but we don't accept ourselves. And that is, to me, I'm telling you, I had the hardest time of doing that for years and years. I was always trying to seek acceptance from other people. All I had to always asking for some kind of a like, you are good or you looking good or all these kind of things. We always
validation.
right validations of from other people. The moment you start feeling good in your own skin, feeling confident about your own skin, about your mind, body, and soul, that's what all women we need to do that. And that's really my final thought.
That's powerful. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, and I think no matter what age you're at as a woman, I think the body image often comes up, and so I love that you
Yes.
brought that into is learning how to accept ourselves and at any stage of our life.
Yes,
That's
absolutely. Any stage
that's
of our life.
that's beautiful. Well, I love how you covered womanhood from such a broad range. I think that was what's beautiful about today's conversation. I've had so many guests come on and talk about menopause and perimenopause, but I love how we're not leaving any woman left behind. And so, just thinking about how we can all live well. So, thank you for sharing that. So, Amita, as we wrap up today, can you please share more about the NourishDoc and what resources are available on that platform and how listeners can learn to how to live well again at each stage of their life. So yeah, what resources are available on there? How can people connect with you? And yeah, what other freebies or downloads or information that you'd like to share as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have built a platform, a holistic wellness platform, specifically for women starting their journey from, like I said earlier, PMS, PCOS, all the way to postmenopause. So women can download the app from our website, which is going to be available in June, July. So it's www.nourishdoc.com. Depending on which journey, which stage they are, with whatever journey they want to take, our system will take you through whichever concern you have and teach you how to do self-care in the beginning with simple things like I talked about all the different holistic therapies and embracing them as part of your journey so you can do the self-care followed by some guided care from the experts like therapy or mental therapy or group therapy or what have you. So really, it's really empowering women from younger all the way to older. And like I said earlier, investing in yourself, being confident about yourself, our platform is really enabling that to all the
Mm,
women involved. And that's really our hope is to that our platform reaches every single woman from this age group so that they start taking care of themselves.
that's good. That's good. What other platforms are you available to connect with on?
We are on every other social platform like Insta, Facebook, LinkedIn. We're very active on that. Even we are beginning to post on TikTok. We haven't been very active on TikTok. We did not know where
Cool.
TikTok was going, but but we have even Twitter. So we are pretty active on all these major social platforms. So women can connect there. But I highly recommend downloading our app, and it becomes available because that's where all the juice is going to be.
Sweet. And that's NourishDoc.
Yes, so that everything will be posted on our website when the app becomes live, and then we will be sharing it on our social platform, how to download it as well.
Gotcha, gotcha. Awesome. So listeners can connect with you. And I'll put all the links in the show notes so that way they can also easily connect as well. But thank you again, Amita, for sharing your information, for sharing your expertise, for sharing some evidence-based information. I think that's what's helpful too, because we have all these old wives' tales that sound really great that our grandmothers said, but like we want science that's going to back it up. So yeah, thank you for sharing the science behind a lot of that information as well. So cool. Well, thank you so much, I mean, Amita, for joining. I wish you a beautiful day. Thank you again. So, listeners, thank you for joining Darren Well Podcast. Thank you for tuning in today. Keep living, keep loving, and keep daring well. Take care. God bless.